What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So I saw something real interesting. Bob Arum was talking about Terence Bud Crawford, undefeated, pound for pound king, WBO welterweight champion. Terence Crawford's next fight what's the possibility of him facing Errol Spence Jr. next, and what's his future looking like, right? And Bob Arum said that they really want to make the Terence Crawford fight next. I mean, the Errol Spence fight. But if they can't make the Errol Spence fight, they're looking to have Terence Crawford fight in Omaha, Nebraska, or Lincoln, Nebraska, as a homecoming fight. Bob Arum then goes on to say that he does not want to put Terence Crawford on pay-per-view again until he fights Errol Spence. And so, since that's the case, then you won't see Terence Crawford face Kell Brook because Kell Brook is not in the budget. In order for Kell Brook to be an opponent for Terence Crawford, it would have to be pay-per-view because they don't have the budget to pay Kell Brook. So essentially, you're going to see Terence Crawford fight the Mean Machine, right? Because Bob Arum and ESPN don't feel like they have the budget for Terence Crawford to face quality opponents unless it's Errol Spence where they could put it on pay-per-view. I can't pronounce the Mean Machine's name. Is KAVALIAUSKAS, right? He's the WBO #1 ranked challenger for the WBO for Terence Crawford's title. He's 21-0, 17 knockouts, 1 draw. This is probably most likely going to be the opponent you see Terence Crawford face next, because ESPN and Bob Arum, Top Rank, are not willing to pay for Terence Crawford to have quality opponents. Not taking nothing away from the Mean Machine. Cool. Well, I can't even pronounce his name. KAVALIAUSKAS. He's the #1 WBO ranked challenger. You know, he's undefeated. You know, but as far as namesake, they're not willing to put anybody with a big name in the ring with Terence Crawford because they don't have the budget for Terence Crawford. So, see, this is what we're talking about when we say that Terence Crawford, top-ranked Bob Arum, and they're doing him a disservice. And we wonder why he even signed with them, re-signed with them to begin with. Because this is the disservice we're talking about. You're the pound-for-pound king, Bud Crawford, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is the pound-for-pound king. Right? You're the #1 ranked fighter in the world, widely regarded as the pound-for-pound king. But your promoter has the engine of ESPN behind him. ESPN, the biggest sports platform in the world, behind him. And they're not willing to go over the budget for you. You're the pound-for-pound king, bud. How could they not be willing to go over the budget for you? To get you the quality name opponents for your legacy. How? How could they say Kell Brook is not in the budget? And the only other time they want to put you on pay-per-view is if you're with a PBC fighter in Errol Spence. So that tells us that Errol Spence is the clear A side, right? Because you need him to be on pay-per-view, is what Bob Arum is stating. This is what we say when we mean. This is what we mean when we say that they're doing Terence Crawford a disservice, and Top Rank, Bob Arum, and ESPN are doing Terence Crawford a grave disservice. And, you know, and we wonder why Terence Crawford would re-sign back with Top Rank and Bob Arum in this case where they're not willing to get you Kell Brook. Kell Brook is not, at this point in time in his career, he's not the ultimate. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not Manny Pacquiao. It's not like you gotta pay Kell Brook tons and tons of money. Kell Brook is in the middle of the pack, if anything, at this point in time. And your promoter, Crawford, is telling you they're not willing to overpay for you to have quality opponents. That you're not worth putting on pay-per-view without Errol Spence. I hope this resonate with you, bud. I hope this resonate with you. Bomac. You know, no disrespect to anybody. Everybody has their own, route of doing things. But if your promoter could come out and say you're not worth putting on pay-per-view unless you have a fighter from a different stable coming over to bolster that, and they're going to stick to their budget if it's not including him, that means that they're saying that you're not worth it. Because how do they have a certain budget, a certain amount of spending money, a cap on the pound for pound best fighter in the world? Could you imagine if the PBC and Al Heyman and Showtime would have said, well, we're not putting Floyd Mayweather in the ring with this person because it goes over our budget? Huh? How does that happen? We've never heard anything. You never heard Deontay Wilder's not fighting this guy or that guy because it's not in the budget, because it's not on pay-per-view. Well, you have ESPN. As Bob Arum stated, the biggest platform, the biggest engine in the world. They just put on this show for Tyson Fury. They don't mind giving Vasyl Lomachenko these fights. But Terence Crawford is not worth going over the budget? What's the budget? This is why the sport of boxing lacks in the States. What's the budget? You're ESPN, worldwide leader in sports. How do you have a budget for Terence Bud Crawford? How does Kell Brook, who's in the middle of the pack, if not at the back of the pack, no disrespect to Kell Brook, but how is Kell Brook not fitting the budget? What do you mean? This just goes to show that they weren't trying to pay Danny Garcia. They weren't trying to pay certain fighters because they don't fit in the budget. How do you not fit in the budget? How does Kell Brook not fit in the budget for the best fighter in the world? A middle of a pack guy. Imagine Showtime telling Floyd Mayweather, we can't give you Marcos Maidana. And he's a bad example because Marcos Maidana was hot at the time. But imagine them saying, and not even Robert Guerrero. So I don't even know, but let's say Andre Berto. We can't give you Andre Berto at this time because he don't fit in the budget, Floyd. What? Or Andre Ward. We can't give you we can't give you Chad Dawson because he don't fit in the budget. Huh? And I'm getting, these are bad examples because these guys are guys that were hot at the time. Kell Brook is not a hot fighter. He's the middle of the pack at best. And especially at the welterweight division. At best. Bob Arum says Kell Brook saw what we gave Amir Khan, and he's figuring that he wants to get similar numbers, close to it, and we're not doing it because he don't fit in the budget. So we don't know who we're going to give Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford, you're the pound for pound best fighter in the world, one of my favorite fighters. And you're going to allow them to give you any old body your last 4 fights. Now, it's going to be Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, and now the Mean Machine. Kell Brook would be the best name out of all of those names. And they're not willing to give him to you because they're telling you he don't fit in your budget. This is what Bob Arum said, not what I'm saying. Terence Crawford, and just so you know, you're my favorite fighter, man. Because I know that I was blocked on all your social media for whatever reason. But I always felt like you're the best fighter in the welterweight division. And but with that said, you know, these are the things that we feel like they're doing you a disservice, Terence Crawford. This is why I feel like they're doing you a disservice, because you're aging. And they feel like Kell Brook is not worth them going over their budget for you. Kell Brook is at best a middle of the pack guy. How much money do they have to offer Kell Brook to get a shot at the title? A shot at the pound for pound best fighter in the world. And it's on ESPN, and they're telling you they're not willing to go over the budget. So they're just gonna give you a homecoming fight to quiet you. This kind of puts me in the mindset of when Tupac used to go to Suge Knight and ask for money, and they would say, well, here you go, here go a watch, here go a Rolex. What about my money? Here go a brand new Bentley. Yeah, but what about the money you owe me? Here, I'm gonna get you a new condo. So they dancing around giving you actually what you're worth, just to quiet you for the moment. So they're not willing to go over the budget to give you the best fights, but they'll give you a homecoming fight. So it's a compilation prize, right? So we ain't gonna give you a good fight. And I'm not saying the Mean Machine is not a good fighter, but we're not gonna give you a big name fighter because we don't want to go over the budget. But we'll give you a homecoming fight. So that should satisfy you. That should satisfy you. That should make you happy. We ain't gonna give him a big fight, a big name fighter, but let's just give him a homecoming fight, and he'll be satisfied with that. It's almost a hush money type of thing, and it's truly a disservice to you, Terence Bud Crawford, because you truly are the best fighter in the world, and Terence Crawford needs to be in the ring with big name fighters. Mean Machine record is undefeated. He's the #1 WBO challenger, but he's not a big name. Nobody knows who he is. He's not a sell. So in order to sell him, they're gonna put you at home versus him. So because you're gonna bring out the people at home. But if you was to fight him at, let's say, Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center, the Staples Center in Las Vegas, it won't do any numbers because nobody know who he is. But they're gonna give you him at home because people know who he is at home. It's disrespectful. They're not willing to go over the budget. It's like in other sports, you know, when you look at other sports like ESP, NFL and things of that nature, and you get guys that want to leave basketball teams and stuff because they're like, you're not gonna give me the pieces I need around me to be successful. And they tell you, yeah, we signed you, but we're not gonna go over the budget. We're not gonna go over the cap to give you the pieces that you need to be successful, to win championships. But we gave you the money, so you should be happy. But now you got to go through rough times because we overpaid you. But what about Vasyl Lomachenko? They don't treat him that way. They give him the fights he wants. The fights he asked for, they give it to him. Wow. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Bob Arum says they're not gonna put Terence Crawford on pay-per-view anymore until it's ERROL Spence. They're not gonna pay Kell Brook because he doesn't fit in the budget. So they're gonna give him a home fight, a homecoming fight against the Mean Machine, KAVALIAUSKAS, in a homecoming fight until they could get ERROL Spence, who's a viable opponent for Terence Crawford to be put on pay-per-view. So essentially, they're telling you you're not worth pay-per-view without ERROL Spence. Wow. That's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.